A patriot, a veteran, an advocate, and a proud Kansan. Tonight, those from near and far honoring the life of former Senator Bob Dole. Dole died this morning at the age of 98. His death comes less than a year after he announced he had stage 4 lung cancer. His family confirmed the news this morning. This afternoon, they released a statement saying in part, quote, "America has lost one of its heroes. Our family has lost its rock." KSN's Jeff Herndon has a look back at his legacy.
Robert Joseph Dole was born on July 22, 1923 in Russell, Kansas. He was an outstanding student and a talented athlete, even competing at the University of Kansas. Dole joined the Army in 1942. 3 years later, his life changed forever on a hillside in Italy. Hit by a German bullet, Dole was paralyzed for a year. He lost the use of his right arm and spent 39 months in the hospital. He said he decided that if he couldn't use his hands, he would use his head. His first move, law school, followed by 8 years as county attorney in Russell. But that was just the beginning of Dole's meteoric rise in politics, from the state legislature to Congress, and in 1968, the U.S. Senate. In 1976, Dole was Gerald Ford's running mate in the presidential election. His approach to politics was simple. It's all about the people.
To be honest, I never did get comfortable with all the focus groups and spin doctors of later campaigns. I always preferred looking into the eyes of a voter rather than a TV camera. Call it old-fashioned, but in Kansas, we like our contacts to be personal and our politics to be authentic.
And along the journey, even at his political peak, the small-town Kansas kid never forgot where he came from.
Knows that you can come from a small town in America, that you don't need the wealth and all the material things in this world to succeed. If I've succeeded, and some might quarrel with that. But I want to reemphasize, as I did before, if I've done anything, it's because of people I've known up and down Main Street, and I can recall the time when I needed help, the people of Russell helped.
In 1996, Dole reached the pinnacle of his public career, accepting his party's nomination for president, sounding themes that echoed through his life.
There's no place I'd rather have as my last stop on the road to San Diego, where the Republican Party will nominate a son of Russell, Kansas, for President of the United States of America. Optimism is in our blood. I know this as few others can. There was once a time when I doubted the future. But I have learned, as many of you have learned, that obstacles can be overcome. And I have unlimited confidence in the wisdom of our people and the future of our country.
But the final step was not to be. His political life ended after that run, but his public service and his love for his country continued well into his 90s. He was vital in the fundraising for the World War II Memorial. In fact, that's where he spent much of his time these past few years.
Do we get our picture?
Meeting veterans like himself who traveled to D.C. on honor flights. We sat down with Bob Dole in 2018 to talk about it.
First we shake hands and then we chat a little bit about, I asked them what's in the Navy, Army, Merchant Marine, Air Force. I enjoy meeting fellow veterans. There are not many World War II veterans left.
And during that interview, Dole admitted he missed politics and, of course, his hometown of Russell.
Oh, yeah, I had still have a lot of friends there. Many my age are gone, but my 2 sisters and my brother.
Dole's political accomplishments are numerous. He lost a few along the way, too. But through it all, he never lost his sense of service or his love for Kansas and country.
I am convinced that America's best days are yet to come. May God bless you, and may God bless America. Thank you very much.